All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the MakeCode Arcade Advanced stream. I'm Richard, at Richard on the MakeCode forum.
I'm Joey, at JWonderl on the MakeCode forum.
I'm Vivian, at LibTroop on the MakeCode forum.
And we don't really have a plan today for what the stream's going to be. So I'm going to be trying to do I think I'm just going to start out by making a basic kind of platformer with some art that I did a while ago. And we'll see how it goes. If we get to the part which was what I was originally planning to do, which is like procedurally generated levels, that'll be nice. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and create like the characters and stuff and have them moving around. So let's look at this code that I have so far. And I'm going to get rid of these disabled. Well, I'll keep those. All I have so far is I've defined a tile map, just some tiles that I was going to use to kind of, fill out the game. We have some breakable blocks right here. These ones were meant to be platforms that when you walk on them, they like crumble. And then we have some doors and some enemies. I have this bat enemy and I have this hoppy guy down here. And so I also defined some animations for these guys. So we've got a bat that can fly. Maybe that's easier to see. And then we have this guy, which can hop around. And there's one other thing that I have in this kind of starting project, which, by the way, I'm going to share so that I can get the link out there. Okay. So the other thing that's in here is an extension I made a while ago, which was called the character animations. It's riknoll / character - animations if you want to try it out yourself. And it lets you do things like defining animations that happen when a sprite is doing a particular thing. So right here I have when facing left, we have this flying left animation. When facing right, we have this flying right animation. And right now for the little skitter guy, we have when not moving, do this hopping animation, which isn't quite right, but we'll get to that in a bit. Okay, so that's kind of the basics. Let's start by actually making this a platformer. So we'll define a player character. But before that, we need to have walls, something for our character to stand on. So I'm going to fill these in. And let's create a sprite. What do you guys think the little player character should be?
Do you want to do human or animal?
I don't know. What do you think?
Maybe it should be a mouse who used to live in a rocket ship, but then instead of exploring the skies, wants to explore the ground.
I definitely agree with mouse because I was thinking mouse too, and I don't.
Whoa.
So we're doing like a choo-choo rocket style mouse explorer.
What does that mean?
Choo-choo rocket? It was a game. Yeah. You played as. Yeah, you played as a mouse, I think, and you like. Trying to remember, you I don't remember what the actual goal of it was, but there were cats. They were no good. And,
obviously.
Yeah, you had to like get through these levels.
I'm looking at the cat right now, and it's a very scary cat. It's got very jagged teeth.
Yeah, it was. They really made it look like a cat you didn't want to mess with. I don't like this ear at all. Maybe I need to make my sprite bigger. I'm tempted to go just steal Alexander from Alexander's library. The best mouse I will ever draw.
Really cute. I really
hard
like
to
the
shade the
red
orange.
there. I feel like it looks so good.
Really?
On my screen at least.
It's supposed to be the other ear. Does that come through?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like shaded. Like, oh, this is further in your view.
All right, cool. All right. Well, hopefully this reads somewhat. We'll go with this for now.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got our character. Let's go ahead and do the thing we normally do at the start of a platformer, which is define the gravity and the jumping. So let's go ahead and get a set sprite property block and rename this variable to be the player mouse. And we're going to set the mouse's AY to be what our gravity is going to be. And so let's do, I like higher numbers because it feels a little more like, I don't know, weighty.
High quality code.
Yeah.
Not flimsy.
And we're also going to do move with buttons, but we only want to move in the X and Y. So, I mean, sorry, the X, not the Y. So we're going to change the VY to be 0. Now we can move back and forth. Neat. All right, let's do the jump. So we're going to do on a button pressed. We are going to, I usually like to make this into a function called do a jump. And it's going to take in a sprite, and it's going to take in a number, which will be the jump height. And that's because I'm planning on making this guy over here also jump, because he's got a little jumping animation. So I want to put this in a function so I can reuse my code. All right. Oh, another thing I should do real quick is right now I'm just putting 400 in this text thing, but since I'm going to be reusing it, I'm going to make a all caps variable called gravity. Why is it all caps? Because of JavaScript, I guess.
That's what I was going to ask.
Well, you got to put your constants in yelling case.
All
Are
right.
constants the same as macros?
No, macros are like templates that you put stuff in, you know? Constants are usually just constants.
Usually the macros will be at compile time, I think, right?
Mm-mm.
They are all kind of at compile time, right? If they're constants. So anyway, you can ignore everything we just said. Okay, so we're going to set the sprite Vy to be an equation, which we have gone through a few times on stream, but you can just kind of take it as something that is correct, which is the square root of 2 times the gravity times the jump height, negative. This is an equation which I could probably figure out why it is this way if I had some time and some pieces of paper and maybe a textbook on algebra. But I just know that it's right, so I'm going to use it. 2 times the jump height times gravity. And now, on A button pressed, we're going to do a jump with the mouse, and we'll make it, I don't know, 40. Cool. Trying to decide right now if it's too floaty. Maybe I'll make the gravity a little bit more. Yeah, this feels good. All right, there's a problem though, which is I can jump forever.
No.
So let's go ahead and do our little trick that we always do, which is put in an if statement. We go into scene, and there's a helpful block for doing things like checking if you're on the ground. And it is my sprite hitting wall, and then you can change this left to be bottom. So we're going to do if the mouse is hitting wall bottom, then we do a jump. And now I should no longer be able to jump forever. Hooray! Okay. So our mouse is always facing the same direction and doesn't really move very much. One of the nice things about this character animations extension that I added is that it lets you define different animations depending on what your character is doing right now. So let's go ahead and do some of those for our mouse. These probably aren't going to be very complicated just because I don't want the entire stream to be me doing art, but we'll try and do something quick. Okay, so we're going to, on the mouse, loop these frames. And then the important argument here is kind of this when, and we put it in a condition. So if we're not moving, we could be doing something, and this will loop whenever our sprite is not moving at all. So for example, you can see it's already started doing that. It's looping this transparent frame because my mouse isn't moving for a second. Anyway, let's go ahead and make it so it's actually something in here. So we're gonna first resize this to be 9 by 9.
Is that right?
Oh. It is, but I made it the original one too big. So, okay, erase all this, paste, and I'll redraw it. Cool. All right. So this is going to be our not moving, facing right animation. So all I'm going to do is make our mouse bounce up and down. Like that. So we're going to do when not moving. I'm going to press plus to add another clause. And I'm going to do when not moving and facing right. So now when I'm facing right, you can see I'm bouncing up and down. When I move left, well, I'm not doing anything that has an animation on facing left right now. So he's going to just keep doing the animation that I have for facing right. So let's fix that. Going to change this not moving and facing left. There we go. And we're going to reverse this guy. Did you say good luck?
Yeah, it looks hard.
It's not that hard. It's a pretty simple sprite. Oops. Whoops. There, I think that's right. Then I'll just trash this frame, duplicate this one, move everything down next one. Oh, not. There we go. Okay.
Oh, cute.
Also, I think I messed this one up in my copy pasting. There we go. Cool. But I'm not going to do walking animations because those take too long. So I'm actually going to change these facing right and facing left to be moving left and moving right. Yeah, that's
Is that
right.
gonna be mad with the not moving?
It'll be fine.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. No, wait, you're right.
Okay, cool. I'm like, I guess I just don't understand how this extension works.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I need it in both cases. So, or actually what I can just do is, instead of not moving, I'll just do facing right, facing left. Now this will work. Cool. And if I wanted to, I could do like jumping and stuff too, but I'm not going to. All right. So let's create some enemies.
What a great day to make enemies.
Yeah.
Wrong side of the bed. No.
I'm going to make a function that's called start level. This is going to be doing everything that we need to do to kind of start a level. I've already created some tiles to mark where the enemies should go. So we've got our bat guys up here, and we've got our skitter guys down here. And what we want to do is loop over all of those tiles and create enemies there. So let's go ahead and go into scene. And we have this handy dandy array of all blank locations. We're also going to use a for of loop. And let's do the bat first, because I've actually done both of the animations for the bat. And also it's going to be easier to code. It's harder to code the other guy. All right, now for each of these guys, what we want to do is we want to go into scene, and first we're going to get rid of the tile. So we're going to grab this set tile at, and we're going to set it to be our background tile, which is just this like rock thing. Now, if we run this code, we should see the bats disappear if we actually called this function, which I'll do now. We should have like a jar that we put a quarter in every time we don't call a function and are confused about the results.
What are we going to buy with all these quarters? I'm very excited.
Yeah, I don't know, but got it. I think we should all get our own socially distanced jars.
Yeah.
And we'll keep a stack of quarters next to our laptops.
I have my jar from coffee this morning. I'll rinse it out and put quarters in here. I don't need them anymore since I have a washing machine.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
All right. So I've already created a function for creating these enemies. Let's take a look at it real quick and see what it's doing. It's pretty simple. So it's creating a new enemy with this, I don't know, junk image. I'm going to erase it so that it's not confusing, because this should never actually show up. And the first thing we're doing is we're defining an animation just like we did for our player. So we're doing loop frames, which is flying for the left, flying for the right, and then we are returning the new enemy. So what I can do is I'm going to set new enemy to be equal to create Bato, which is what I named this little guy.
What gives you the right to give it such a cute name? I did not get a license for this.
I'm sorry, do you hand those out, or is there someone I need to contact?
I look at applications. You can go through me, yeah.
All right. We're going to place this new enemy on top of the location that we just set this background tile for. There we go. So now we should have 3 of these guys. Hooray. They're not very exciting right now, though. So let's give them a little bit of behavior. And it's going to be our kind of simple, just follow the player. So we're going to set new enemy to follow the mouse, and we're going to make it pretty slow, like 20. Look at those little guys. All right, and there's nothing we can really do about them right now, but they also don't hurt us, so that's fine.
No, there's only one.
Yeah, they're all on top of each other now. All right, what do you guys want to do next? Should I make this other guy turn into an enemy, or should I do some of these things with these blocks around here?
I think you should do that.
So
yeah. What were you planning?
Well, my plan was to make it so that when you step on these guys, they like crumble.
Mm-hmm.
And then my plan was that you would also have like an attack with B, and you could break these the pink ones.
I like that. What are the brown rocks supposed to be?
I don't know. They were just kind of other assets I drew.
Mm.
Maybe I'll just make them walls.
Mm.
What the?
I'll write that down.
Yeah, that was odd. So because my mouse is starting inside a wall, it starts as being clipping through walls, is what we say. So it ends up being an issue because we can't, we just fall through the world. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make another, actually, you know what? I don't need to. I'm just going to use this door to be my start location.
I like that the door looks like it's a space helmet bubble.
Yeah, these are shamelessly copied from, I guess there are mini games that draw doors like this, but the one I was thinking of was Metroid.
I played that for the first time recently. My friend was streaming and challenged me to get through as much as I could, and it was so hard.
Yeah, the original Metroid's pretty hard. It's a good series, though. Okay, cool. All right, so maybe I should do the attack next then, so that we can, fight these baddos, and also, break these blocks. That'll be fun. Okay, so I'm thinking for the attack, it's just going to be like a swipe.
Like with your arm?
Yeah, but I'm not going to draw an arm. I think it's just going to be like a whoosh,
Yeah.
Like could be a sword, could be a
your nose
claw type thing, could be a nose attack for sure.
Could be the tail.
Could be not the tail.
Sorry, Joey, your idea was bad.
No, it's just because I'm not going to animate the mouse, and the tail is behind you, so the tail will be visible during the swipe.
Maybe I move so fast, faster than our frame rate.
I like that. Okay, it can be the tail, Joey. All right, so I'm going to make another function now, and it's going to be called do attack. And
cool.
Attack.
I wasn't going to say anything. Glad you fixed it.
I knew it was wrong while I was saying it, but I was trying to do a joke, but no one laughed. All right, so we're doing this do an attack. We have our sprite. And right now this is only going to be for the mouse, but it's nice to make it a function, because if we decide to do other things later, like enemies that can also swipe at you, then that could be fun. All right, so first thing we need to do is we need to figure out if we're facing left or facing right. And so normally we make a variable for doing that, but one of the nice things about this character animations extension is that you can just use this one right here, which will tell you if you're facing left or facing right using boolean.
Did I miss this? Is this a new extension? Did you talk about this at the beginning of the stream and I wasn't paying attention?
It's an extension I made a really long time ago, but we've never actually used on stream, but we definitely should, because it's really...
This is crazy. This is so useful.
Of all the extensions I've made, this is probably the most useful one, which is why it's weird that we've never used it, but I kind of forgot it existed for a while.
It does have the default icon too.
Yeah, I need to go and fix it, and I need to mess it up. I think it's also like the default color. I'm not sure. Okay, so to do the attack, what we're going to do is we're going to create another sprite, which is going to be our attack sprite. And so to do that, I'm going to create a variable, call it attack sprite. And we're going to add a new kind, which is attack. And we want for this one, I think what's going to happen is when you swipe, you're going to stop moving for a second until the swipe is done, and then you'll be able to move again. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you pause in button handlers, Joey?
Yes. It'll block the other button handlers, but it should be in a different fiber, I think.
All right, cool.
But it's
gonna
easy to check.
Yeah, that is true. So, so that we don't get into the same situation we were in before, we're going to go and make a call for this one immediately. No quarter today. Well, I guess 1 quarter today. We're going to call do an attack with the mouse. And inside of this attack, we are going to take our move my sprite. We're going to put it on the moves. Whoops. And we're going to change this both to be 0. And then at the end, we're going to restore. So we'll do this back to 100. And if I end up reusing this extension, there might be some sprites that we call this on that isn't using the move. And we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Was that what you were going to say, Vivian?
Yeah. It's okay. That's a different bridge for a different day.
Yeah. So now, if I press B, I stop moving for a second. If you guys can tell, I'm holding down the button. You can see it in the simulator. But if I press B, I stop for half a second during the swipe. And I think half a second is probably a little too long. I like these things to be snappy. So do like 200, swipe, 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 swipe. Yeah, that feels good. Swipe, 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 swipe. All right, so we're going to create our attack sprite. And what we want to do is, actually, I'm going to put this up here because we're going to be creating an attack sprite in both situations. But here, I'm going to animate it to the right, to the left. And here, I'm going to be animating it to the right. And then we're going to set the position based off the mouse's position. And I can do that with the character animation thing, too. I'm just going to be looping the frames when not moving. So let's do that. Change this to be our attack sprite. And I always have trouble drawing a swoosh, but we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna make it 9. Ooh, I did that. I always do it backwards. 5 by 9. And it's gonna come down like this.
Wait, what are you making?
A swoosh.
Oh, I see. I thought this was like the mouse doing the swoosh, so I was really confused when you're like 5 by 9.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on?
Don't we have... Oh, is onions getting turned off by default? I forgot about that.
Oh, yes, it is. That is useful, though.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, not a great swoosh, but it'll do. I think it needs to be less like circle-y. Whatever. There we go. That's kind of okay. All right. So we're going to loop these frames when we are facing right, not moving right, facing right. And we want to set this sprite to be to the right of our mouse. So to do that, we're going to go into our sprites. We'll set the left of the attack sprite to be the right of the one that we're passing in. Change this to be right. And then we also need to change the y. We want the y to be the same. So we can just set both of these drop downs to be y. All right.
Oh, cute.
I guess we need an initial.
Oh. Do we want loop frames there, or was there like a run frames?
Nah, there isn't a loop frames, but I'm just going to pause it. I'm going to destroy it at the end. So hopefully it'll be fine. Man, I did it backwards again. All right. And what we're going to do is this is for 300 frames. So I'm going to drop this to be like, let's see, 70. So that'll mean that this will go a little bit longer than a time for our swipe. And then I'm going to destroy the attack sprite.
I think this looks awesome.
And we're going to fill this in with transparency to start. Hopefully that'll still work though. Yeah, that works. It should definitely be bigger, but I'm just going to leave it as is for now to move things along. Okay.
You might be able to get away with just shoving it to the right instead of making it bigger. Like putting an extra +2 or something.
Yeah, that might work. All right. Now let's do the other thing in the, we'll do the same thing in the other direction. Oh, I can actually take this Y bit and put it out here because it applies to both. All right, we're going to reverse this sprite, which should be pretty easy, I'm saying now, because it's pretty symmetrical.
Nice. That means it's beautiful.
Thank you. Cool. And we're going to copy this too, change this to be right, change this to be left, change this to be minus. Cool. All right, we got a little attack. It's not doing anything yet though. So let's go and do the collision with our little Batto.
I like that Batto sounds similar to Baddo, like it's a bad guy.
Yeah, that is actually what I was going for. Okay, so I believe I create these guys with kind. Oh no, I created them with kind enemy, but I made a kind called Batto. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into sprites, drag out an overlaps event. And what I want to happen is I want these guys to have maybe 2 hits to beat them. So if you hit them, I think they should like basically freeze for a second and move over in the direction that is opposite of you. If that makes sense. So you're like pushing them away.
Yeah.
So on sprite of kind attack overlaps other sprite of kind Batto. Well, we're going to first need to figure out like which angle we should go to. What's the easiest way to do that? Should I just hard code it to be the mouse for now?
Yeah, you could just take the difference in X position of the mouse and the attack and add that or something.
Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use the sprite data.
Yay.
That's better.
All right, let's add Vivian's favorite extension.
Yes.
And what we're going to do is on our attack, we are going to set a sprite property attacker to sprite. Now over here, we can set the attacker to be that same thing. So let's go ahead and we'll get our get as sprite. Choose the sprite for our attack and attacker. Okay. So the other thing we want to do is we want to set health on our battos. So I'm going to go up here to our create batto, and we're going to set a number on them, and it's going to be their health. Two. All right, we're going to first change that number by -1. And then we want to see if that is equal to 0 or not yet. Because if it's equal to 0, we can just destroy the batto. Otherwise, we want to bump them. So if other sprite's health equals 0, then we're just going to call destroy.
Can you drag it in?
Oh, right. Otherwise, what we're going to do is bump them in the direction opposite of the attacker. So should I do trig for this? What do you guys think?
Could you just do like the difference of x and y without trig?
That might work.
And set the velocity.
Okay, so let's get their properties, and we're going to say if the attacker x is, we need a comparison block. Is less than the other sprite x, then we want to bump them away from us. And for now, I'm just going to change their position. So we'll call change. We're going to change the other sprite x, and we want to do positive because the attacker is to the negative side. So we want to make it positive so that they get pushed farther away. And I'll just make it a big number for now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that works. All right. Otherwise, we'll change it by -10. Oh, wait. I was like, I should test my code, and then I just destroyed them the same way. Kind of a weird thing when you attack while you're in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to do an air dash?
Yeah, new rule. You can only attack while you're on the ground.
Oh.
I'll bring it back eventually. All right, cool. So last thing kind of to do is we want to have lives on our player. They want their life to go down when they get hit by a battle. So we're going to add another overlaps. And we're going to change instead of attack, do player. And I don't like the whole lives thing and then the lives go down by 1 each time because I think it makes the game too hard.
Mm-hmm.
So instead, I'm going to use the Fabulous extension by Joey, status bar. And we are going to create a status bar that is our health. That's going to go across the top of the screen, or maybe just like the top left. Width, make it like 60. Make the height, I don't know, 10. Too big. Still too big. And then we're going to set its position. So we'll set the left to be 1 and the top to be 1. And then make this variable status bar.
Let's see.
What's up, Joey?
Good luck.
Oh.
Are we going to keep it as single screen levels, or should we set it to be relative to camera?
Oh, I thought it started relative to camera. Is that not true?
I don't think. Maybe I forgot. I'll check.
I thought unless you attached it to something, it was relative to camera.
Ooh, maybe I'm forgetting my own features.
But it's good to be explicit, even if that's not the case. So let's go ahead and do this flag, the thing that Joey was mentioning. This will make it so it's stuck to the screen, basically. You can imagine it as a sticker that is stuck to the screen instead of moving around with the camera. And now we have our health bar up there. And what we're going to do is, while we are overlapping with a battle,
Ooh, yeah, you were right. I did do that.
Oh no. Poor mouse.
Yeah, this is a little harsh.
Don't destroy the... Oh.
All right, that works. And maybe we'll make it a little bit more dramatic. Do a little bit of camera shake.
Oh. Oh no.
I always forget about that effect, and then every time I see it, it's just so nice.
Yeah, it is nice. All right. So the last thing we want to do real quick before we move on to other fun stuff is we're going to do an on status bar gets to 0. We are going to do our game over, lose. This is not a game you can win. I guess you can win by just playing it forever.
You destroy them. Yeah. And you're free to live your life.
All right, let's do these crumble blocks. Okay, so we're going to do an on-game update. And what we want to do is we want to see, actually, we don't need to do this. We can do an on-hit wall, I think. There we go. On sprite of kind player hits wall at location. What we want to do is we want to check to see what the tile is below us. So do this one. I think that's the right block. Is there a better one? Yeah, that's the right block. I'm going to mute the simulator. And let's do this. We're going to do if tile to bottom of, I have the sprite variable right here, is crumble block. Then what we're going to do is we're going to create a sprite that is going to be the block crumbling. We're going to give it a lifespan. And when it gets destroyed, we're going to set wall to be false.
Oh, nice. You can just do the destroy with the disintegrate effect. Then you have to actually animate it.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you, Joey, for saving me. Okay. There's one thing I want to do, though, is I don't want to create sprites for every frame that we're hitting the wall there. So what we're going to do is we're not going to set the wall off at this point, but we are going to set the tile to be our background tile. We're going to put a sprite on top of it, so it's not going to matter. But this will make it so this event is only going to fire once. And if we go and test it out real quick, you can see that when I step on these tiles, they disappear. Okay. Now let's create a crumble block. Crumbler. We'll add a new kind. And for the image, I'm not going to redraw it. I can just do this. Okay. And the thing that Joey mentioned was we are going to, on our crumbler, start a disintegrate effect. And let's see what this looks like. What the? Oh, I didn't set the position. That makes sense.
I forget, because we have the option to destroy with, but I don't remember when we actually trigger the destroy.
I'm pretty sure
it's immediate. It's a leading destroy.
I think it's immediate, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, I don't know if it is or not, but I know this will work. Okay, we're going to place our crumbler on top of our location.
Ooh.
There you go. See them crumbling. And we want to set a timer, which is going to take the form of a lifespan. So we're going to set our crumbler lifespan to be, I don't know, what's a fair amount of time? Second. We'll see how that feels. Now we're going to take an undestroyed event, change this kind to be crumbler. And we are going to go into scene and set wall off at the location of the crumbler. And I don't want to add the tile maps extension because we're pretty much done with the stream at this point. So I'm just going to calculate it. It's pretty easy to calculate if you don't want to add that extension. What you want to do is you want to take the square root block and do integer divide. And then you want to divide the x and y by the size of your tiles. In this case, my tiles are 8 by 8. So we're going to divide the x by 8. And then for the row, we're going to divide the y by 8.
Oh, it doesn't matter here because we already just implemented it. It does work how we wanted it to. So it does destroy and then run the undestroyed after 2 seconds if you set it destroy with effect for 2 seconds.
That's neat.
I'm just excited about that.
Cool. Okay. So last thing we're going to do real quick is we want to go to our, I want to make it so you can attack in the air. because I was just being lazy before when I made it so you had to be hitting a wall. And it's pretty easy to fix. We're gonna call our do an attack on B button pressed. And what we're going to do is we're inside of an on-game update, because we're storing the attacker. We're also gonna need to store the side. Do that real quick.
Can we just turn off acceleration? Oh, because we don't have velocity.
Gliding?
Never mind. Well, you like stand still.
Feels a little weird.
The space mouse knows how to control gravity at will.
Hey, I have seen this behavior in like Smash Bros.
You don't fly when you punch, and I mean, I guess for some attacks.
Some attacks you just stand still and you punch.
Okay. So for each sprite of kind of attack, we are going to get the attacker. We're going to change this item to be value. And then we're going to use our facing left, facing right. So if the attacker is facing right, then we want to move our sprite to be... Wait, we don't even need to do that, do we? Yeah, wait, we don't need to do that. Go away. All you need to do is update the Y.
Wow, that seems like something that we should have caught doing. Sorry,
Yeah,
Richard.
guys, this is on you.
Yeah, totally.
I am blameless.
You don't need to think, Richard. That's what we're here for. You're just clicking the buttons.
You're just a little code monkey. Yay!
Oh.
Perfect. It's really hard to play these types of games with the on-screen controls. You really got to use the keyboard. All right, cool. Well,
So
we didn't
good.
get to the level design thing, but we made a cute little game. And I don't know, maybe next time I'm hosting, I'll come back and we'll do more stuff with it. Might be fun. Anyway, that's it for today. I'm Richard, at Richard on the MakeCode forum.
I'm Joey, at JWonderl on the MakeCode forum.
And I'm Vivian. I love Triple on the MakeCode forum.
Thanks for showing up.